How's it going, JDM crew? I'm just checking here out. This is the turbo timer they have on there. That's good, because we definitely have a turbo on this. We got the audio deck right here, and it's a Pioneer. Quite old, actually. It's definitely from the 90s. And speaking of the 90s, that's exactly the type of car that I'm driving right now, from the mid or later 90s, the R33. So how's it going, JDM crew? Another inventory video, and if you notice, I'm not exactly shifting. Look at that. It's an automatic, yes, but this is an R33 Skyline, and it's a GTS 25T. So not GTS-T, but 25T. Got the 2.5 liter in here, 2,500 cc's of goodness. We've got a turbo, and that's it. You know, it's pretty stock. There are a couple of mods, and I'll get into those in a minute here, but this is it's actually really comfortable. You might notice that the interior is a little bit more plain because it isn't the GTR. A GTR has extra trim things. It's got, you know, instead of the flat black around here, they have like the faux carbon look and all that other stuff. Triple gauges here and all that other stuff. Yeah, it has other things. This interior is, well, I mean, I've got a sunroof or moonroof, whatever you want to call it. It's cool. I can, look at that. It's good stuff. And, and I still have the contours and body lines of the good old R33. So, the front bumper, I believe it was one of the factory upgrades, so it's a little bit better than your standard one. If you look at the other like GTSs and some of the other versions of this, it might not be as nice as this one or the GTR. So this is actually pretty nice. Overall, very comfortable to drive. I have this Nardi steering wheel here in my hands. So not OEM, so it's the Nardi Torino, and it's pretty solid. Oh, we got a Miata. You guys can never go wrong with Miatas. Awesome, great platform. But actually, we haven't had any inquiries with us. So if you guys are interested in Miatas, we definitely got JDM Miatas. Definitely a fun platform. LS swap that, or rotary swap that. But yeah, back to the R33 here. And as you can see, I'm just cruising along on the highway here. Slowing down because people are exiting. But there we go. Open it up a little bit. And as you can hear, it's opened up just a little bit. You don't hear the exhaust because it's stock OEM exhaust. I'm not making any noise, just a little bit. But what you were hearing here, we do have a performance air filter. So we do have, it's not a full intake, it's just after or before the mass airflow sensor, we have a higher flow air filter. So that's fine. We do have upgraded suspension. And all around they are Nissan OEM wheels and tires. Well, I'm pretty sure they're fresher tires, but they're actually from the Fairlady Z. I'm not sure if it's the 350 or the 270, but yeah, it is from the Fairlady Z. So we have a staggered setup, which I didn't notice it at first, but it is actually really comfortable to drive. Handling pretty well, and you know, just back there where I accelerated a little bit, very healthy. Nice grip, but yeah, very manageable, you know, when it comes to just maneuvering and even just here, cruising along, really nice. So, I'll double check on the sizes and we'll get to that later in the video, but it is the 370 or 350Z offsets, so it fits really flush with this, by the way, and it looks great. When I saw it at first, I was like, oh, those are nice wheels. And then I realized, oh, Nissan. And then found out that, you know, they're from one of the Fairladies. So really nice. But the suspension, I'm not sure of the maker, but they are adjustable. So it's actually quite comfortable here. Where even with like the minor bumps, I'm not really having any issues with that. The handling and response is really nice. So there we go, you see. Very nice. And yeah, I know this is automatic, and a lot of you guys are probably cringing right now, like, John, why are you going to be advertising this, and you know, we don't want automatic. Well, some people do. If you get the 4 doors, or you know, even any of the other Toyotas or Skylines, you know, it just, you know, some people want something a little bit more comfortable and not too crazy tuned, and enjoy the Skyline experience, or you know, the Supras or any other JDM cars. So this is actually just fine. And I used to have an S14 also, which was automatic at one point, and it was very comfortable to drive, and I drove that for almost 10 years, so no problems there. You know, definitely put on 100,000 miles in the States with an S14. This thing has about 106,000 kilometers, so it's not even 60-ish. It's under 70,000 miles. Very nice. And it is well maintained. Timing belt was changed, and I'll check that later when we're in the engine bay. But yeah, definitely taken care of by its previous owner. I think there's a couple of minor scratches which were touched up, but like for the most part, the paint is original all across, and the clear coat's not even faded. I mean, they may have touched it up or polished it, but overall looks really good. And that really surprised me about how good that of a condition it was, because like even here at the dash, we got a little bit of adhesive there. They probably touched that up a little bit. They probably had like a little cell phone holder or some stuff there, but there are no holes on anything here, so they didn't mount any extra gauges like that. I do have a switch here that I have no idea what it is, so I'm not going to touch it. But AC blows cold. It is a pretty humid day today. We've got a couple of storms coming through. It was raining earlier, so I definitely waited for it to dry a little bit before I started the video. But yeah, interior in general is in really good condition. I will show you in detail a little bit more about the seats though, because it's not like I'm in a Recaro or anything. This is stock GTS seats, where, you know, they're just comfortable enough. Nothing too fancy. GTRs do have premium bucket seats in it, and then of course a lot of the ones that we've had do have modified, you know, they've changed out the seats, thrown in some Recaros or Sparcos or something. These are OEM Nissan seats, so I mean, it's still comfortable to drive, no problems there. But if you guys are expecting some upgrades like that, no, we don't have that here. So for those of you guys looking for something a little bit more original, this is really it. You can kind of hear the intake a little bit. Yeah, for the transmission, by the way, since this is the 25T version of the GTS, it's not as basic of a transmission as the regular GTS automatics. We do have a snow mode, and we have regular mode and power mode. So I'm in power mode right now. The response is a little bit better. It's a little bit closer to as if I was driving manual. The shifting is slightly faster, but you do have that feature. So the transmission in this, they've definitely taken care of it. It's been really smooth on the acceleration, no jerkiness, and even with the slightly larger, it's like a plus size wheel, just slightly larger than the OEM one, it's just exceptionally smooth. So really, really pretty nice. For the audio system, by the way, we do have this Pioneer audio deck, and I believe these are aftermarket Sony's. You know, they got the tweeters, and I'm not so sure about the speakers, but the audio system is slightly upgraded, but we're talking 90s upgraded. So if you guys are looking for some kickers or some really punchy bass, no. But that's okay. This is still very comfortable. You guys will probably like the exterior. We'll be at the warehouse soon, so you guys can, I'll show you around, and you can see it's got the stock kit on there and a nice gunmetal color. So let's just get into that. Let's fast forward up to the exterior. Well, here we are starting from the interior. You can see that dash is in really good shape. No cracks or anything from there. So all good there. Opened up the doors to get a little bit more light, so you can see the carpets here, which are original. And you can definitely see the difference between the GTRs and the GTSTs and the, well, this GT25. So basically, yeah, all of these, like, you know, it would be like comparing the Sylvia J's and Q's, where they don't have quite the premium items. So same thing with the GTRs versus all the other Skyline models. You'll even see this more with the 4-door editions, where, well, you do have better room in there, like especially when you compare this rear seat And the amount of foot room that you have here versus the four-door models, you know, so you'll see a big difference there. Well, no, there's the shifter there for automatic transmission. I know. Just it's actually pretty comfortable. Pioneer audio deck. I'm not really sure what else to tell you about it. It's not the full Navi systems like you see with other things. Oh, there goes the wind. But it's still good. CD, audio, radio, all that good stuff. And here's the mileage right there. Boom. 106,000. So around 60,000 miles. All in all, really good. A little bit of glare there. I'll try to block it out. But yeah, nothing too crazy here. And one thing that you will notice is definitely how a little bit more plain that the, you know, console and the gauge cluster area is. They don't have that fall carbon look or anything like that. Nothing too crazy. But let me step out for a moment so you guys can get a better view. They did replace the stock airbag steering wheel with a Nardi Torino steering wheel, which is actually very comfortable. So I think it was a nice touch. Gives it a slightly more premium feel. And there we go. Carpet, decent shape. Says Skyline right there. Genuine parts. And the seat here. So as I said when I was describing the passenger seat, well, in general, the seats for these models, and you'll see that between the R32, 33, and 34s, that the GTS and GTST models and all that, or the 25 GTs and those others, especially in the R34 line, it's not as premium as the GTR seats, but hey, they're still comfortable enough, especially if you're commuting. You got a Skyline. That's what matters. And I see the door panels here. Alright, this did have a moonroof, so, or it does have a moonroof, so that's good to go. No leaks. We just had a thunderstorm pass earlier. It had no problems with that, so all good there. Show you guys a little bit more. Boom. And so we'll get into this exterior a little bit, and as I was describing earlier about the wheels and stuff, this is what's really nice. So I am not sure if this was with the 350 or the 370, or you know, the Fairlady Z. I forget which year it is. We got 225 45 18s in the front and 245 45 18s in the back. So it is a staggered setup, which just kind of surprised me how comfortable it really was on the way over here. So with the suspension upgrades and the wheels and tires, it's actually really comfortable going at highway speed. And yeah, it wasn't too rough on the bumps. I mean, with the suspension that they added on here, it's a little bit lower. You can see that's some really nice fitment there. So it actually feels a lot more proper, like even better than some of the other GTRs that we've had, which have much wider tires. Like this one with the staggered setup actually is very comfortable to drive and pretty good handling. So definitely a bit sportier and a nice update when you look at that. For a lot of you guys that have been modifying cars in the past, you'll know that working with Nissans and a lot of the interchangeable parts is really awesome. I remember even with my S14, you know, being able to use other wheels from other Silvia models or even the 300ZX. It's pretty cool. So it's neat to be able to see, you know, you could get other GTR parts, or in this case Fairlady parts, and it looks pretty stunning on there. So it looks like this is how it should have been from the factory. Okay, and well, this isn't really going to surprise a lot of you, but it's mostly stock. We do have a higher flow air filter on there, as you can see, the stock MAF sensor. So over there, you can see it can draw in a little bit of cool air into there, so that helps. But for the rest, you can tell is quite stock. And because this is one of the GTSs, you can see ECR 33, so it's not BNR or BCNR, you know. So definitely you'll see that, and that's just like how you see the HCRs also for like the 4 doors and everything else. Definitely some more information there if you guys wanted to look into that a little bit more. And here she is, the RB25, and on previous videos I have mentioned differences between the 20, 25, and 26, and in fact on one of the other videos, I do apologize, I mixed up the 25 even though I had a 20 in there. These are very nice on the revving and response. I definitely like them a little bit more than the RB26, but obviously the 26 has a lot more tuning potential. But these, just like the 1JZ, very rev happy, and it's a really good time. I actually think they're really good motors, so nice having a 6-cylinder inline 6. It's just really good stuff. And as you can see, there's some maintenance on there, so they did get the timing belt replaced back in 2014, so not even 6,000 miles ago. Or well, that's less than 10,000, or a little bit more than 10,000 kilometers. So yeah, about 6,000 miles ago. So very fresh, still running good. So as you can see, they definitely kept up on the maintenance and everything. So that was pretty nice. So, and as I mentioned earlier, the suspension is modified. So we do have the adjustments there for the dampening force. So yeah, a little bit improved suspension. I am not sure of the brand. You could probably check with the sales team, but I'm not sure if they'll know either. But overall, the setup is pretty smooth. I really like it. But as I said, just about everything is OEM on here. Well, there you have it, guys. Another beautiful R33, but this time a GTS, well, 25T, and it is the RB25, as I showed you guys earlier. Really fantastic, really smooth. I was actually a bit more surprised than whenever it arrived that it was actually this smooth. With the Fairlady Z rims, I already kind of noticed when I was like, wow, those are Nissan rims. Really surprising. Definitely it's just subtle enough, you know, nothing over the top. You know, we've definitely had plenty of modified cars here in the past. Some people like a little bit more flashy. They like to get the rims and tires and crazy offsets. But this one, as you can see, hold on, there, boom, it actually just seems to fit together really nicely. As I mentioned, whenever you mix and match OEM Nissan parts and Nismo parts, it just comes together in a really nice way. I mean, definitely that design by intention there. So if you're looking for more information about this vehicle or any others, hit up our sales team, info@jdm-expo.com. Feel free to also hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. They'll be able to get back to you in about 24 hours. Just any questions you might have, even about the process or any other vehicles, they'll be able to help you out. And definitely we got a couple more really crazy Skylines coming up, and definitely look forward to that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. And actually, we got a typhoon passing by. We got like 2 typhoons in the area, so if you guys are in the Pacific, be safe. Anywhere else in the world, stay safe. Definitely it's that time of year, so have a good one. Take care of yourselves, guys. See you next time.